Hired Partner is an applicant tracking system for law firms. And what we do is we allow law firms to post jobs to a variety of sites, over 300 websites for law firms. All the applicants come into one place, and then the law firm can organize them, they can schedule interviews, and then they can also save the applicants that come in case they have openings in the future and match them to existing jobs. So it's a very powerful system. I want law firms and employers to understand specifically how to avoid mistakes when they hire attorneys. There's a lot of things that law firms often do wrong when hiring attorneys, and a lot of attorneys that they should be looking out for that could be bad hires. In the legal profession, a lot of times people will move jobs because they're doing a bad job at their existing firm, or the law firm has asked them to leave, or they're not getting work. Attorneys really need to be as stable as they possibly can. An attorney that's moving a lot, typically it's not the firm that's at fault, it's the candidate. And if the candidate's moving, it's a sign a lot of times that they're not a good candidate and that there's something wrong and that they're going to be likely to move at the next firm they go to. So law firms should avoid people that look like they're moving a lot. It's very common for attorneys to move, especially in large cities. They'll move after a couple years of practice. A lot of times, a junior attorney may start out at a firm for the first couple years, and they will have feedback for their work product and may make some mistakes and so forth and don't want to be defined by a negative past, so they'll move to a new firm where maybe they can develop a better reputation. It is common for attorneys to move firms, but one thing that I always advise firms, if the person's moving, and really the main reason for moving, is if they want to get into a larger firm or a better firm or something that is more focused towards the type of work that they're doing. So a law firm that's evaluating a lateral candidate should always try to see if that person's really trying to improve and better themselves and move on to something better, as opposed to just move. So there needs to be something that really motivates that attorney and the law firm to hire them. Law firms want to hire people, or should want to hire people, that want to get more of a certain type of work. If an attorney is at a firm and they're doing mergers and acquisitions and they're only doing it for private companies and they want to do it for public companies because it's more challenging work, that's a good reason for moving. If they're a litigator and they want to work on larger cases instead of smaller cases. So the quality of work is important, the type of work that's important, and then you have to believe that the attorney really wants to do a certain type of work. And if the law firm has a type of work and the attorney's not getting it at their existing firm, that's a good thing. Some reasons that are also valid for an attorney moving would be the law firm is imploding or there's something wrong. A lot of times the attorney may have been hired to work with a certain practice group, and that practice group has severe problems. People are leaving, they've lost major clients and that sort of thing. So structural problems can matter. Another reason that is quite valid, I think, is location. Attorneys may start off in a large market like Chicago and want to move home to, say, Michigan or something, to Grand Rapids, where they're from, which would be a smaller market. So moving home is also a good reason for moving. Some other good reasons for an attorney moving might be that they're getting married and they're moving there with a spouse, something along those lines. If somebody is moving back home, that will also connote a lot of stability. Anytime somebody's doing something where it's likely that they're going to be working in that area for the long term and they're settling down, that's a good sign for a law firm because it means they're not going to leave, hopefully. Bad reasons can include if somebody is moving to a small market from a large market and they don't have any connections there, that means maybe that they really need a job, so that's not a good reason. People may move because of weather, or like a certain market connotes a certain lifestyle to them, like they feel like if they live in Florida or California, it's going to mean a certain type of lifestyle. If somebody's moving for those sorts of reasons, they may move if they don't like the new environment that they go to. And moving for a spouse can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. The reason it can be a bad thing is because if an attorney is moving because their spouse needs to relocate somewhere for their job, that means that they may relocate again if the spouse needs to relocate. So that's a problem. Attorneys will often move maybe because their work is not well received. They may get a lot of criticism for their work. They may make big mistakes. In a lot of cases, the attorney may be asked to leave. In other cases, the attorney may not be getting along well with others in the firm. If an attorney doesn't have enough work, the law firm is going to think, maybe there was something wrong with the quality of the attorney's work, or they weren't proactive enough in getting work, or people don't like them and so aren't giving them work. If a law firm's interviewing someone and there's not enough, and the attorney is saying there's not enough work, a good explanation for the reasons for that would be that there may have been major partnership defections, that several large cases may have settled all at once and there's no work. A major client was lost, those sorts of things. Firms can merge, offices can close, key partners can leave. Often in a merger, there's a lot of people that are kind of cast aside, there's not room for. So that can often be a valid reason for an attorney to look. But anytime somebody is looking for a job, you have to question, what is wrong that the person's looking. So if there was a merger, why aren't there attorneys that are protecting this particular attorney? And so that's important because the objective of any attorney is always to have access to work. And so if the attorney's not close to partners that have work, that means that they probably won't be close to partners that have work at their new firm. The partners with the most work want the best attorneys around them. And also, if they don't have access to work, that means they're probably not going to be very good at getting work from clients either. If a partner leaves and doesn't take associates or other partners with them when they leave, that means that the person that wasn't taken wasn't valuable enough to that partner for them to bring them with them. And that means probably that they didn't do good enough work, or the partner would prefer to have new people working for them at their next firm. If an attorney is moving for criticism about their work, then it means that their ego is so wrapped up in not being criticized and not having their work criticized that they're probably going to have problems at their next firm. It also means that if someone's not open to criticism, that they're not improving. A law firm should want to hire people that are improving. A lot of times attorneys will move firms because they felt like they were overly criticized at their existing firm. And expecting the quality of work to constantly improve is the job of a good manager of an attorney, and always poking holes in arguments and so forth. So someone that can't handle criticism and can't handle holes being poked in their arguments and their work product probably shouldn't be an attorney. If somebody is saying they had a conflict or is critical of their past employer, the idea is they're probably going to be critical of their new employer too. So there are certain types of people that will always blame others for the problems that they have and may cause problems and may just be bad luck wherever they go. So people that are critical of their former employers are often very dangerous hires because they're not willing to take blame for however they may have contributed to the problems that they had, making them look for a job. Well, that they couldn't get along with others in the firm, that the quality of their work was poor, that maybe they weren't work hard enough. Those are kind of the main things I think that if an attorney is asked to leave, that the law firm will conclude.